G'day. I'm going to share a few dreams. So, about 5 years ago when I wasn't saved, I was still taking part in like the occultic things, and I was still searching with all my heart. But anyway, I had a dream, and the dream was so intense. When I woke up, I had to write it down, and I knew it was like prophetic, even though I knew nothing about like the Bible at that stage. So I dreamt that I was looking at the night sky, and there were 3 stars in the sky, and they all came together in a spiral motion, and they joined together, and then they opened up this black hole, or like a portal, and out of the portal came loads of UFOs, and then after the UFOs came a massive red dragon. And then I was in a house which was different to the one I was living in at the time, and I was living with my parents in the dream, and I looked out the window of this house, and I looked out onto a street, and everything around the street and outside was like, it was dark, and it was like on fire, and people were running around all like panicked and like screaming and stuff, and it looked like an evil world at its fullest, like yeah. And then I was inside, and I was like safe from it, but I still like saw it all. And then the dragon came to my house, and he was looking for me to kill me, but I was hiding inside, and my dad went outside and told the dragon that I wasn't there, and then he flew away like full of rage. Little did I know at the time when I had this dream that this was like kind of depicting Revelation 12, the woman and the dragon. When I woke up, I looked up red dragon in the Bible, and I found Revelation 12, and it says in Revelation 12 that the dragon cast a third of the stars from heaven down to earth, and it's like depicting when he comes down to earth with all his fallen angels, which are the deception of like the UFOs and the aliens, but they're fallen angels. And like I knew nothing about any of this, and yeah. So I think that has to do with Seal 6, to be honest, as well, because the stars fall at Seal 6, and obviously after the elect are caught up to God in the heavens, and then Satan comes down, and it's his full ruling, like for 3.5 years. So I just thought I'd share that, and hang on, just need a drink. You can just look at some trees for a second. And the second dream I had was around the same time, either a few weeks before or a few weeks after. And this dream, I was on an island, and the island was like a sin island. And at this time, like I was still partaking in like different types of sin. So I was like blinded in my heart. I didn't fully understand like what sin was. I mean, we all have like the basics, we know not to like do certain things, but like I didn't fully understand at the core of my heart, like because I was blinded. So was on this island, and it was a sin island, and it was like a red atmosphere, and all the people on the island were partaking in like lots of different sin, like every type of sin you can think of, even like buying and selling was on the island, like kind of like just for money. So, and I was a sinner on the island. But in the dream, I was like separated from everyone else because I could see what was happening and everyone else couldn't. Anyway, on the island, the government on the island knew that there was going to be a tsunami that was coming, or tidal wave. And so they went out into the ocean, and they sent helicopters into the sky, and they tried to like control the weather and stuff. And this was the only part in the dream when I woke up where I thought that was not real, because I didn't actually understand that they could do that at that time. And then eventually the first wave came, and it was a blood wave, and it covered a quarter of the island. And then the next week another wave came, and it was bigger, and it was another blood wave, and it covered more of the island. And then the last week, the third week, another blood wave was coming, and everyone was running around on the island panicking. And there was lots of fire on the island too. It was like, had this red kind of doomsday atmosphere. And people running around screaming, and this big blood wave was coming up over everyone, and I like looked up at it, and it was so real. I looked up at it, and then I was like real calm though. I wasn't scared at all in the dream, and everyone was running around like headless chickens, and then it covered me and I woke up. And that was another really intense dream I had around that same time. So obviously the Lord was trying to get my attention. I understood that the blood was like coming back to these sinners, like the blood was of the people who they had murdered or hurt or persecuted, and it was like coming back to them in a way, and it was going to destroy them. So and just quickly, just because I want to save it, and that's it. You know when you're like dreaming and you're asleep, and then you like fall in your dream and you wake up, it feels real. Well, I keep getting that feeling like of not falling but being pulled up into the sky, like pulled up. I had a vision the other day where it was just like a flash vision, like real quick. I saw a girl in jeans with a white top, and she had like caramel boots on, and she went shooting up into the air, and I was like looking from below her. Then all these people went shooting up around her, and then I went shooting up, and I felt myself lift up. And that feeling of being lifted up happened in my, like, sometimes it happens so much, like so intensely, that I feel like I rise so far up into the sky that I get scared and I just want to come back down, because it's like so abnormal. Like if you haven't ever experienced a feeling like that before, it's very abnormal. But like it's happened to me so many times. It's like the Lord's like preparing me for what it will feel like. And I've had it when I've been wide awake, and yeah, just thought I'd share that. I thought it was okay. I'm tired now. Anyway, okay, see ya.